There have been a lot of trends in the watch industry in recent years. Integrated bracelet stainless steel sport watches and vintage inspired divers, for example. But one of the biggest trends from the 1970s is back, and the Complecto and Bulova collaboration that just launched is leading the way in the stone dial resurgence. Stone dial watches have been popping up all over the place recently, from high-end luxury brands like AP and Piaget to more affordable options like the recently relaunched Denison. But I might go out on a ledge and say that the Complecto and Bulova Super Seville Stone Dial Collection is the best stone dial around that extremely competitive $1,000 price point. And why do I say that? Well, I'll get into the design, the fit, and the quality of this watch, which to me makes it a great buy. But first, let's get into the history of stone dial watches. You can't talk about stone dial watches without talking about Piaget. The first Piaget stone dial watches appeared in the 1960s in lapis lazuli, opal, malachite, tiger's eye, and other stones. While Piaget was first, Rolex quickly followed suit in the 1970s, as well as Cartier in the 1980s. Of course, there have been plenty of modern stone dial watches throughout the past 5 or 10 years, but only really recently have we seen a surge in affordable watches with real stone dials. And the Complecto Bulova Super Seville Stone Collection is one of the best. The watch recreates the original Bulova Super Seville design from the 1970s. It has a TV or cushion-shaped case that gives the watch a distinctly 1970s aesthetic. But I've been seeing a lot of non-circular case watches being launched recently, so I think it fits the trend. The new Super Seville Precisionist does not have the day complication, but other than that, it's a pretty faithful recreation. And the fluted bezel classes up the watch quite a bit. The collaboration between Complecto and Bulova adds 3 new models to the Super Seville collection: steel with turquoise dial, a yellow gold tone with tiger's eye dial, and a rose gold tone with snowflake obsidian dial. Interestingly, the rose gold tone is actually new to the Super Seville collection. These are real stone dials, so of course they come at a premium over the rest of the Super Seville collection, but in my view, it's worth it. Besides the new Denison stone dial watches, there are very few watches with real stone dials at this price point. It's hard to say which dial and case combination I like the best. I'm a big fan of Tiger's Eye, so the combination with a yellow gold tone case gives the watch that 70s feel that is so popular. The turquoise dial with stainless steel case is also incredibly nice. It's a little more subdued, but plays into the Tiffany blue trend of a couple years ago. That's not to say I don't really like the rose gold tone case with snowflake obsidian dial. The gray snowflake spots in the obsidian are something I've never actually seen before, and I really like it. As these dials are all real stone, no 2 dials will be exactly the same. So if you're looking for something unique, you can't go wrong here. These pieces just fit really well and look great on the wrist. The case width is a reasonable 37.5 millimeters, and the modest 42.3 millimeter lug-to-lug measurements keep the watch very wearable. With its cushion style case, the 37.5 millimeters will wear a little larger than your typical 38-ish millimeter watch, but the shorter lug distance makes up for the squarish case shape. The integrated 3-link bracelet is also very comfortable, though I would have wished if Bulova used screws instead of a push-pin link removal system. Overall, the watch wears pretty well on my 6.75-inch wrist, as I think you can see, and I think if your wrist is a little bit smaller or even a bit larger, it will still wear very well. And at 10.5 millimeters thick, it has a slim profile that will slip under the cuff for that more formal occasion. Finally, let's get to quality. Just holding the watch, you can tell that it's well made and high quality. What you wouldn't realize just holding and looking at the watch is that it runs on a quartz movement. That's because the second hand sweeps smoothly, much like an automatic watch. This is due to Bulova's Precisionist movement. This proprietary movement not only has a smooth second hand sweep, which I really like, but is 8 joules in quartz and vibrates at 262,000 hertz, which is 8 times greater than standard quartz movements. So beyond the smooth sweep of the second hand, the watch is accurate to within seconds a year and also offers increased resistance to temperature swings. Overall, I really like this collaboration from Complecto and Bulova. It really hits the mark in terms of quality, design, and wearability. To me, it is an interesting enough collection that it should have appeal beyond Complecto members, and it's definitely playing into the growing trend of stone dial watches. Each variation of the Complecto and Bulova Super Seville Stone Collection is limited to 718 pieces. This represents New York City, as it's the area code that covers Brooklyn, Queens, Staten Island, and the Bronx, and parts of Manhattan. The stainless steel and turquoise retails for $1,095. The rose gold and snowflake obsidian retails for $1,195. And the yellow gold and tiger's eye retails for $1,295. So what do you think of the Complecto and Bulova Super Seville Stone Dial collection? Which is your favorite? Let me know in the comments. And if you've been enjoying my content, make sure to like and subscribe. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time.